The summer transfer window is just 2 months away, so all over Europe, people are already looking at possible moves that could materialize once the window flings open. The big transfers will always dominate the headlines, but there are some that everybody seems to want to see, but nobody really believes will actually happen. Those are the ones we want to talk about in this video today. These are 7 hot transfer deals that nobody believes will actually happen. We'll start with Rodri to Real Madrid. For some time, the 2024 Ballon d'Or winner has been quietly linked with Real Madrid. He's gone up against them so many times in recent years, which has made the topic come up every year. But this is one that nobody really believes will happen. Rodri really did strengthen the links with his recent comments during the international break. He said that he would like to return to Spain and then followed up with a very interesting statement. He said that his history with Atletico Madrid doesn't mean that he cannot play for Real Madrid, saying that you just cannot turn down the best clubs in the world. That was a statement that made Manchester City fans feel very uneasy. Despite having been out for a long time due to injuries, Rodri is still arguably City's best player, and he's someone they won't like to lose, not now and not in the near future. Obviously, Real Madrid have a habit of signing the best players in the world, but considering Rodri turns 30 this year and still has a contract keeping him at Man City until 2027, this doesn't feel like a transfer that will ever happen. Of course, Rodri is a better midfielder than Tchouaméni, but does anybody really see Real Madrid pushing aside a 26-year-old Tchouaméni for a 30-something-year-old Rodri? Well, there's another midfielder that's been heavily linked to Real Madrid. Do you know who we're talking about here? Tell us in the comments and we'll see if you're right soon. While you're there, if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, go do that right away so that you never miss out on our amazing content. Done? Okay, back to the video. Victor Osimhen to Barcelona is another hot transfer that nobody really believes will ever happen. The Nigerian striker has been linked to the Spanish champions for quite some time now, but that one is just never gonna happen, is it? On paper, it looks like he might be the best available replacement for Robert Lewandowski, but it's just not going to happen, is it? The whole deal will be way too expensive for Barcelona to even consider. Getting him out of his Galatasaray contract just a year after he was signed for 75 million euros won't be easy. And on top of that, his wages will certainly be high. In Barcelona's current predicament, there's no one who truly believes that this transfer will happen despite the links. And it's sort of the same thing with Julian Alvarez to Barcelona. The links with this one have just been too strong. Many fans say that Alvarez is the perfect Barcelona striker because he's really technical, has great link-up play, and is great both inside and outside the box. And we actually do not doubt that he would be great if he were at Barcelona, but we just don't see this one happening, and not many do. Alvarez will cost Barcelona a lot of money, possibly close to 100 million euros in fact, and we just don't see how Barcelona coughs that money out for just one player in their current financial predicament. Also, remember he plays for rivals Atletico Madrid. They surely do not want to sell their best player in his prime to direct rivals. They'll definitely be making it very difficult for the Blaugranas. We saw how they nearly bled Barcelona dry with the Griezmann transfer some years back. It'll probably be even worse with Alvarez. The difference is that Barcelona doesn't have that much money at their disposal anymore, so this one will likely end up not happening. And guess what? Alvarez's current contract goes on till 2030, so Atletico Madrid aren't desperate to sell at all. Bayern Munich also don't seem desperate to sell Michael Olise, so his move to Liverpool is a hot transfer that no one really believes will happen. With Salah on his way out, the Olise links have arisen again. The Reds would love him to be the one who takes over from the Egyptian king on the right wing, but nobody really sees this one happening, do they? Of course, having been born and bred in England, people seem to think that he will want to make a return to the league, and joining one of the biggest clubs in the country is a way to go. But Olise is currently having the time of his life at Bayern Munich, now even entering into the best in the world conversations. We don't see him leaving just because he wants to make a return to England. At Bayern Munich, he's guaranteed titles and a place in the Champions League every season. He even has a high chance of actually winning the big years at the Bavarian club. We can't say the same if he's at Liverpool. So while it might seem beautiful and poetic, this one just doesn't feel like it's ever gonna happen. We also don't see Bradley Barcola going to Liverpool. If you remember, the Frenchman was linked to Liverpool in January after they'd lost Antoine Semenyo to Manchester City, but that didn't even get far. We believe that those links will arise once again in the summer, but we just don't see Barcola leaving PSG, especially not to join Liverpool. We're talking about France-born France international, currently having the time of his life and winning all the big trophies in the biggest club in France. The young man is living his dream, and we don't see him abandoning that anytime soon. Of course, you can always lure a young player away with a lucrative deal, but Liverpool is not a club that offers players a lot of money in wages, so we just don't see how they can persuade him to come. On top of that, their place in next season's Champions League is not yet confirmed. If they miss out on that, then the possibility of signing Barcola, or Elise for that matter, completely crashes. Anyway, speaking of PSG wingers, Vicha Kvaratskhelia has also been heavily linked to Arsenal. The Gunners' left wing is still not as strong as they want it to be, and many fans believe that the former Napoli man would own that wing and elevate the entire team and be a difference maker. Now, does anybody really see this one happening anytime soon? I mean, this guy only just moved to PSG last year, and he's absolutely loving life there. Even if he loves Arsenal, we just don't think he's ready for a new challenge yet. Life is pretty much on easy mode for him at PSG right now, so we believe he would want to enjoy that for a bit before looking for a move elsewhere. But that aside, if Arsenal really want to get him, they would have to pay big money. We're talking upwards of 100 million euros. They'll also very likely have to make him their highest paid player. Is that an investment the North London club is ready to make at this time? We just don't think so. Anyway, remember we said that there's another midfielder that's been linked to Real Madrid. It's Enzo Fernandez. The Argentine has been linked to Real Madrid for some time now, but his recent comments during the international break have really strengthened those links and turned them into headlines. The Chelsea man said that he would like to live in Madrid as it reminds him of Buenos Aires, so it feels like the 25-year-old World Cup winner is actively flirting with a move to the European giants, but it just doesn't feel like it will happen. First of all, you look at Real Madrid's midfield and you wonder where Enzo fits in. With Tchouaméni, Valverde, Camavinga, Arda Güler and Bellingham, where will the Argentine play? It also doesn't help that Enzo's form seems to have dropped over the last couple of years. But let's even say Real Madrid wanted to sign him. They would have to pay a fortune to get him out of his Chelsea contract, which still has 6 years on it. Chelsea signed him for 121 million euros 3 years ago and tied him down with a long contract. They won't want to lose their vice-captain unless it's for a significant fee. And we're just not sure that Real Madrid will be willing to pay 90 to 100 million euros for Enzo Fernandez. So this one will very likely end up as just links, at least for now. Now, are there more hot transfer deals that nobody believes will actually happen? Tell us about them in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so that you never miss out on new content. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.